I just
Hello,
want I just want the real
everyone.
thing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Call of Cthulhu, the Mask of Nyarlathotep. And I am your keeper of arcane lore, and it is my honor to guide these wonderful people through the mysteries of the 1920s. We will go ahead and let them introduce themselves and who they will be playing, and we'll go with popcorn style. So I didn't actually tell them how to do that, and we'll start with Glyza today.
Hi. Um, I just wanted to point out that on Twitch, all I'm seeing is starting soon. I don't know if our lovely faces are there,
They
but
are.
hi,
You just have to refresh.
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, they're there.
Hey, cool. My name is Glyza. My pronouns are they, he, she, yes, in that order. And today I will be playing Jasper Mendoza.
Wonderful. Next up, Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm Sir Monolith, and I'm at Sir Monolith on the socials, but mostly you can just find me here, um, letting Ree abuse his characters and stuff like that. Today I'm playing Ricardo, and we get to see what kind of fun and interesting consequences there will be to his actions.
Of course. Mama, your turn.
Hello, everyone. I am Mama McStabber, and I will be playing Florence Buckley.
All right, Demon, you're up next.
Hey, what's shaking, everybody? I'm Inkblood Demon. You can find me as Inkblood Demon across the internet. I'm playing Angus Irons. He's going to be dead in about 17.12 seconds. And please help.
All right, next, Ari.
Hi, I'm Mari. I will be playing Georgie tonight. She will probably be dead shortly after Angus is, because this is how it's going to happen.
You two are like peas in a pod, I suppose. So, as we rejoin our investigators, we find ourselves with Ricardo, who has just picked up a odd-looking ceremonial mask. As you go to pull it, you catch a glimpse of an image within the shiny, reflective portion of it, and I need you to make me a power roll, please.
Ooh, unlimited power. I clicked it. There it goes. Hard success.
Okay. Do you wish to spend any luck on this roll?
Why? I got a hard success.
Extreme successes are different.
That's true.
But we will
Extreme
say,
success. I don't even how many points would I need to get to an extreme success should I want to do that?
Extreme would be, I believe you have to get to 15 for extreme. So you have 90, so you would need to spend 10 points.
10 points. You know what?
Entirely up to you.
You know, why not? Let's we're playing with fire. Might as well cook it a little more, right?
You are indeed playing with fire. Not exactly the greatest thing to do, but
Let's make it an extreme, yeah.
as you gaze into the reflective portion of this piece of gold, you find yourself pulled away from the hotel, pulled away from the world, until you are standing atop the ancient steps of a pyramid.
Ooh.
The ground in front of you begins to shake as greasy white tendrils dripping with huge maggots reach upwards, almost as if to pull the sky down. Focus is pulled away again until you find a man, small in stature, huddled in the corner of a dingy room, quickly scribbling something on a painting. Your focus changes again. Now you find yourself looking out of a train window, sweeping across the vistas of Africa, accompanied by a strong scent of smoke. Then the screaming begins. You feel a presence wrapping around your mind, almost as if something has formed a connection to you. And I need you to make me a sanity roll, Ricardo.
Yeah. Regular success.
Okay. You lose one D3 sanity. Start with that part.
I'm always good with sanity rolls. Let's just get the maximum.
How about roll me another d6, please?
Okay. 2.
Oh, wonderful. So you feel this presence, and then a voice that sounds like trillions of screaming people speaks to you. And the words make no sense to you. The understanding makes no sense. But you feel this creature, this being, burn itself into your mind. And you lose another 2 points of sanity. And you gain access to the Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Yeah.
You have cast your first Mythos spell. And I'm sure
Hell
that
yeah.
will be well for you. Jasper, I believe you were with Ricardo at the moment.
I am. Yeah, I was in the room.
So does this also add to my Cthulhu Mythos rating, or is that later?
Yes, your Mythos rating is 5 now.
Okay.
You just cast a wonderful spell. Jasper,
So-
you watch as Ricardo's face goes slack, and then they suddenly begin screaming. What do you do?
I'm gonna go grab him and shake him and say, "Are you okay?"
I don't seem to react.
I
'Cause I'm
slap
still-
him.
And this is
Slap
why I'm
it
still
again,
like,
still screaming.
Yourself together, man.
is this why I have like a death grip on the mask?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Jasper, as Ricardo is screaming, you hear someone step into the hallway, coming from the opposite side from where you know Larkin's room to be. Do you do anything for these footsteps?
I
Approach?
pull Ricardo and try to get out of the room to run away.
Okay. Roll me a strength roll, we'll say. Let's see
Okay.
if you're strong enough. I'm going to say if you're going to drag a fully grown person, you're going to need at least a hard success.
You know what? I'm going to how much do I need to spend on my luck roll to make that a
For a
hard
hard,
success?
you need half the number, I believe. So it should be 17. So you'd have to spend, what, 5 points?
All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
5
I'm gonna
points.
spend 5 points.
All right. You are dragging your friend apart. You see an elderly woman and a young man of maybe darker skin who looks like kind of like a farmer, really. They begin to run up the stairs just as you get Ricardo out of the room and down the other end of the hallway. Ricardo, as your mind is being invaded by this creature, this being, you are shown a series of images, none of which make sense to you, none of which you understand until you see what looks to be a black monster standing on the moon, a bloody tentacle dripping down its face into the earth. And as that image ingrains itself into your mind, you wake up to find Jasper struggling to pull you down a set of stairs in this
Can I
hotel.
keep slapping him until he wakes up?
Absolutely. You are
Sweet.
being slapped.
Every couple of steps, I go, wait, and then keep pulling, and then wake up. Yeah, that's what I want him to. I want Ricardo to wake up to my steps.
Ricardo wakes up confused, getting slapped in the face. Not something that the player is too unfamiliar with.
Look,
But
Which
so
we're
be a
kidding.
first. So be a first for Ricardo. Just kidding, kids. Don't slap each other. It's not fun.
with consent, you may do so. And you may have been slapped, but it was always with consent.
I feel like we're
Anyway,
veering off topic here.
As you all are reaching the bottom floor of this hotel,
oh.
is there anything you wish to do before you make your exit?
So
when he wakes up, I'm gonna ask him if he's okay and what happened.
You remember everything you saw?
Ricardo's just kind of still taking in the fact that he's now back in the real world, and looks down at the mask in his hand and looks up at Jasper and stuffs the mask inside his mohair suit jacket, to try and kind of like obscure it as he sees himself in the stairwell and them like on their way out, and he's like, what happened? What I thought I was in the room.
You started screaming, and you clearly hid that mask that I saw you, that we were talking about and holding. What happened?
Don't touch the mask. Oh,
No, I figured, because I don't want to do the thing that you did where you just started screaming. Was it painful? Are you okay? What happened?
I saw things. I saw some strange things. Although if you're trying to drag me away to safety, maybe we should talk about it later.
Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure you're okay. And we should
I don't
get
think
out
we
of
have time for that right now. We need to go.
here. Okay.
You said people were coming, right?
I heard people coming up. That's why I dragged you out.
Oh,
I didn't want you killed, you see.
well, that's I'm very gracious of that. I don't want to be killed either. So let's go. That way that hopefully won't happen. But also, I might be a little worried about the pyramid now.
Right. Well, as long as it's not upside down.
How would it be upside down?
Oh, don't worry.
As you two make your exit, our perspective shifts, and we follow Florence and Georgie as they are making their way to the largest hospital in Lima. As you all are entering, I do not believe either of you two speak Spanish, though I could be incorrect. Okay.
I may have a Spanish-English dictionary.
We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. So you enter the first hospital of Lima. You find it is relatively small, about 3 stories, and there is a central receptionist desk, and there is a woman sitting at it that looks up as you enter.
And Florence just asked me, "Do you speak English?"
Little bit of English.
Patient yesterday came in, Professor Rizzo.
No Rizzo. Sanchez. Throat.
Yes, that one.
Yes, you want to see him?
Yes. See.
One moment. She takes a clipboard with her, and she steps from the receptionist desk and kind of disappears down a hall. Is there anything you two wish to do before she returns?
Florence just looks at Georgie and says, "I really need to learn Spanish."
I know. I brought my English to Spanish dictionary, and I feel like I'm about to pronounce everything incorrectly. We really should have brought Jasper along.
I didn't think about it. I was just like, let's get you a bag, and while we're out, check on this poor guy.
Same. She's gonna like do her head on a swivel just to see if like there's anyone around here that's looking a bit suspicious, because like the professor's already had his life attempted one time. Like, also there's this weird cat that keeps showing up in this hospital. I'm sorry.
As you look around, the hospital is mostly empty at the moment. There is a small family to your left that are kind of having a conversation with one another. They are talking in Spanish, or you would have no idea what they're saying. But there's no one that looks suspicious to you. There are no European visitors or anything like that.
Well, I don't see any of our friends, so that might be good. I'm just hoping they haven't made a, second attempt.
Well, I'm not sure what kind of state the professor's going to be in anyway, considering the extensive damage.
Yeah. She's gonna wait, try and see if the nurse is coming back.
As you look, a few moments later, she does return, and a small visit, not much talking. Follow me.
See, and we get up and follow.
And she leads you, still on the first floor, but towards a room that is in the very back of the hospital. And you find it has a single bright light coming from the top, but no windows. And you see laying in the bed is Professor Sanchez, who looks a bit emaciated from what you remember. The skin is kind of hanging a bit loosely on both his arms, and kind of the small portion of his chest you can see. You can also make out the acidic burns along his mouth much clearer. And as you approach, he looks at you all and... hello. I'm glad to see you are well.
I'm glad to see you are still breathing, Professor.
I have had better days.
I'm sure. We just wanted to check to make sure that they hadn't tried again.
No, I don't think so. I've requested for there to be no windows shown as an abundance of caution. But I do not think I will be in any immediate danger.
Did you get a good look at who it was?
Oh, let's find out. Happened really quickly. I remember being attacked. They were the blue eyes, very piercing blue eyes, and then the mouth. It was long and wrong, almost like a leech. It was horrible.
A child on the street said that they saw a likely D. Mendoza.
I would not be surprised. I do not know. I don't understand what is going on, but if you are going to go forward with this expedition, please be careful.
We will.
Professor, we were told that you wanted to go on the expedition. Was there a reason why?
I wanted to make sure that our heritage was respected and properly catalogued. People have a tendency to focus on what will make them money fastest. Did not want more of our heritage stolen.
We heard another a young man had disappeared. Has that been happening more frequently?
I don't think so. There have been people who've gone missing before, but I don't know for sure if they're connected. Perhaps you may find out more if you visit Puno. They're a bit further away from the main city, so that may have more experience or have more people paying attention to one another, the benefits of a closer-knit community and all that.
Professor, we truly wish you recovery.
Thank
you for trying to assist us.
Of course. I understand it may sound a bit ridiculous, but if the stories written by the old conquistadores are remotely true, I humbly request you find some way to deal with whatever is going on.
We will do our best.
Thank you.
Is there anything we can get you?
I don't think so, unless we have a way to deal with uncomfortable feelings. I will just need to take some time to rest.
We won't keep you then. Thank you for sparing us a few moments, Professor.
Yes, thank you.
I wish you luck.
And Florence is going to nod in respect and turn to go.
Georgie does the same.
All right. And you are free to leave. You see that as you're leaving, the professor's handed a cup with and a set of pills, I would say. Well, none of you speak Spanish, so you don't know what they would say, actually, so never mind. But as you are leaving, is there anything you wish to say to each other or to any of the workers in the hospital?
I will thank the nurse. And using my Spanish-English dictionary, I will thank her in Spanish.
All right, it takes a few moments to string together the proper.
Right?
Yeah, it's a little hard, but you express.
But I'm trying, and yeah.
It's all right.
And then we'll head out back on the street to head back to the hotel.
Okay. And with that, I believe the four of you have potentially have some things you can discuss. So I will ask you, is there anything you wish to do, any conversations you wish to have before we skip forward to Monday morning?
I will tell what happened in the when we visit the hotel. I'll share that with everyone, including what happened to Ricardo and the mask. Okay,
so let's do that as a scene. So we'll say it'll take an hour for you all to reconvene at your hotel. You are told as you arrive that the others are waiting for you. And I leave the scene to the four of you, or to the five of you, as we'll say, unless Angus does not wish to be at the hotel.
No, that's where Angus was.
That's
he sat that ass in that room.
Very wise man.
I go ahead and tell them, our benefactor, he's not looking well. He's very sick and he could be dying very soon. I don't know if it is a supernatural thing, but definitely Demon Doza is doing something to Larkin. And then Ricardo grabbed the mask from Larkin's room and started screaming. And you said you saw something.
In Larkin's room?
Yeah. Sorry, not Larkin's room. Demon Doza's room, because we did go into that.
Okay.
I don't think we found anything in Larkin's room, right, Keeper?
I mean, Jasper said I was screaming, but I don't remember screaming.
In Larkin's room, you found that it was a mess. You did find a vial of what used to be heroin, and that was about it.
Yeah, I didn't take that.
Can I see the mask? I'll go touch it. I'll just like to see it.
Be careful.
Florence, you have an eye for these things too. Would you like to inspect it with me? With
I
our
can
eyes?
certainly try.
All right.
Okay. Do either of you look at the reflective portion of this mask?
Well, I'm going to do a full archaeological examination,
can
so
do
I would
that.
say yes. So I would.
Like,
I might as
So-
well, because I'll be appraising it.
right. So, make me an archaeology roll and an appraisal roll. Oh, well, that's wonderful. You guys are brilliant. Florence, you are aware this is as close to a priceless artifact as you could possibly get. It is paged from the same era of time as the items that Larkin showed you at dinner, but it is of a much higher quality. The gold alone would be worth a pretty penny, and that's not even counting how much it would be worth if you found someone interested in this period of history and what it would represent. So you think it is very, very worth it. Gus, with archaeology, you learn a lot of the same that Florence did. You can tell this is closer to the 5th century from a historical perspective. You aren't sure what the image on the front, the face, is supposed to be depicting. Just doing a quick rundown on gods or deities you know of in the region, it doesn't seem to match any of those. So that's something you find a little odd. And you can tell that it's not a mask that would be worn because of the reflective side of it. No. Can I have you both make me power rolls, please?
I like how you sandbagged that. You made me lulled me into
I'm sorry.
false.
So they just
I appreciate
so as I guess pull out to show the mask, people are now touching the mask too, because it's. I mean, I understand the allure. It is very pretty.
It's very shiny.
Oh, I'm
It
not
is very
touching
shiny.
I'm not.
Florence
I'm
might
not.
be just a little bit of a magpie.
Come on, it's okay. You got fingers. Just the tip. Just the tip.
Just the
it's
tip.
fine. Yeah.
Sir, prom was a long time ago, and we will not. Anyway,
Right. So, as you look into this mask, you find your minds being pulled away. You find yourselves standing at the base of a massive pyramid. You see the sun go pitch black, and tentacles of darkness reach out and begin to spread across the sky. You watch the world begin to be consumed, almost as if space itself is dying. Then you find your attention pulled away. Now you find yourself and your fellow investigators reaching forward and touching a large red stone. Stone is oddly warm to the touch, almost as if it's alive. Next to the rock, you see a pit that descends deep into the earth like a yawning chasm. There, Angus, you awaken. But Florence, you feel something else reach out to you. Another presence. This one feels like the stars above have taken notice of you. You become aware of just how small and insignificant you are. And then a voice that sounds like the devil itself speaks to you. Its tone is filled with equal parts malice and disdain. And although you cannot understand the words, something inside you changes. Knowledge you weren't supposed to have fills your mind. And I need you both to make sanity rolls, please.
That's right.
Okay.
Embrace the madness.
That's right.
Wonderful. Florence.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You lose 1d6 of, actually you lose 2d6 of sanity because you also cast the spell. So you lose 2d6 worth of sanity points. So
Oh,
that's
no.
fun. Angus, you lose 1d3. Yeah, 1d3 of sanity because you succeeded.
All right, I'll do the D6.
Luckily, I
for
only
the-
lost 5.
All right.
Now, I believe Florence had lost sanity last game as well. So your mind is starting to fray at the edges.
But I did lose
Florence.
5. Doesn't that trigger something?
I believe it is 10 all at once, but let me double check that.
I think it's 5 in one roll. Could be wrong.
I will say this is actually going to be one. Yeah, this counts as one instance. So
Yep, triggers an
temporary
intelligence roll.
insanity. Yeah, make me an intelligence roll. Let's see if your mind recoils at what you've just
I succeeded.
understood. Roll me a d10, please.
Sure.
Georgie and Jasper just hanging out, keeping their sanity together.
That's 8.
All right. As your mind returns to the present, you understand that what you just witnessed isn't real. It isn't possible. And for the next 8 hours, you are temporarily insane.
All right. Fantastic.
What bout of madness are you under? I'll say you are paranoid for the next 8 hours.
Paranoid. Absolutely.
Paranoid.
Absolutely.
Paranoid. Something has reached out for you from the great beyond, and you are not ready. The rest of you watch as both Angus and Florence's vision, their faces go slack. For Angus, the moment seems to last for less than a minute. But for Florence, they begin to scan the room, almost as if seeing something that the rest of you don't. Florence, what are you thinking at the moment? How are you? What is going through your mind?
That we have been secured for this project by one of these damn monsters, and they're going to kill us all.
All right. With that in mind, what does Florence do in this situation? You are in this hotel in this strange country. You know at least one monster is around. You know some other creature is watching you, has found you. What do you do?
She stands up, shoves that fucking mask away, and says, "Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it." And then she runs out of the room back up to her room and bars the door.
Ricardo looks off and it kind of like, I wonder what she saw.
With the mask.
Would you like to touch the mask?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on.
You gonna
You put it on.
Put it on.
You're just gonna here. Ricardo will turn it around so you got the inside. Because it's not really a mask. Like there's no eye holes.
No, there is a spot for the eye holes, but it's not all the way through. It's as if someone just carved a face into a piece of gold. It's not truly a mask. It's like a picture of a mask.
It's
Do
a
I
death
get any
mask.
points for Cthulhu Mythos after that?
Yes, you gain 5 points in the Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Thank you.
That woman doesn't scare. Like, yeah, she fell awkwardly early, but maybe because she's old or was startled. That woman doesn't scare for shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I if depending if she saw the same things I did, I don't know. I mean,
You scare? How,
Jasper said I was screaming, but I
That's-
don't feel any different
Did-
now.
Did they scream, Keeper?
No, we're oddly quiet actually.
Keeper, I'm gonna put before I put it on, I say, Georgie, don't tell my dad. And I just
Oh no.
Here you go, Ricardo. Or here you go, Angus. He just like pushes it toward him.
As you put
I
your
adorn
face up to the mask, you see your reflection on the shiny portion. Nothing happens.
thought so.
I'm gonna hold out my hand.
It's a bunch of superstitious mumbo jumbo.
I want to see what everybody is seeing. Gimme.
Here you go, Big J.
Thanks. And I look at it. I look at it straight on.
Make me a power roll.
A power roll.
Power
Let's
roll.
see, where's my power?
We are playing with fire. You look into the reflective surface and nothing happens.
Bunch of mambo jumbo. Are you guys okay? No, I didn't say that. I don't say that because I actually like the three people that saw something. I'm like, maybe the power is all used up. Georgie?
Okay, sure. She'll take the mask.
Well,
Just
peer
kinda
pressure
like-
never hurt anyone.
I don't know if I should do this or not. The most hesitant taking of an item.
Do you look into the reflective portion?
Yes, she'll like tilt it just a little bit so she can see at it.
Like squinting an eye.
Make
Yeah,
a power
pretty
roll.
Oh god. See here. Oh, hard success.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't see anything. What's the matter?
As you stare into the mask, you find your mind pulled away. This time you find yourself running down a hallway. The ground beneath you is ornate but distorted, almost as if you're standing or moving through a nightmare. Your speed is strangely slow, but as you reach the end, the door opens and you find a dark-skinned African-American man laying back in a chair, an image carved into the center of his forehead. As you see this person, they open their eyes, and there is familiarity there, but you can't pick out who or what it is. It's wrong, distorted somehow. Next, your attention is pulled away, and you find yourself deep within the ground, in some tunnel. You hear roars and cries of animals, but distorted and demented monsters, creatures of horrid understanding. I need you to make a sanity roll for me, please. Did you
Says
succeed?
regular. Says
Good,
regular.
Good. Regular success. You take 1d3 sanity loss, and you are pulled back to the moment.
One.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I don't like that thing. No, thank you.
You see something too? Man, I don't see anything.
So there was like
I'm not pulling my leg,
no,
right?
no. There was a person with like a symbol on their forehead, and then I was underground. I don't like that thing. No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, all right.
It what did you see, Georgie?
I don't fully know. Like the person looked familiar, but like I couldn't place them.
Person.
She'll take out like her little book she's been carrying around with the letters she's been writing on. Can she like attempt to draw the symbol she saw on the guy? Darn
I
these
would say you
cats in these
can
bars.
attempt it. Let's see. Do you have drawing or any similar skill on your sheet?
Well, drawing's not a skill, so no.
It would be
I
under art. It'd be one of the variants of art. So,
I don't
I
even
would
see art on here.
say, you can attempt it. Make me a D100 roll. Let me see what the base art.
Chloe, move. Do you, ma'am?
The hospital cat follows you
5%.
home.
This hospital cat, I'm telling you, she is everywhere.
Doesn't mask out of
1D100
good.
was a 21.
Okay. I will say your target number is 5. So if you want to spend the luck, you could do that.
How many luck points would it be?
Target number is 5. You rolled a 21, so 16.
Nah, we're good.
Okay. You attempt to recreate the image from memory, and it's difficult. You get the general image. It's kind of almost like a parentheses and then sharp edges, it looks like, in the middle. But it's hard for you to accurately copy what you saw. It doesn't do it the same majesty.
Sort of like that. Like I don't think it doesn't look quite right, but it was something like this.
If you're lucky, it'll haunt your dreams and you'll get a better recollection of it.
Oh, please don't put that on me, Gus.
I was just trying to be endearing. I should have waited to write that letter to my father.
Wait, you sent a letter to your father?
Yeah, old Constantine Irons.
Why?
Necklace. It's a necklace thing, Georgie.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm gonna turn in for the evening. That should probably be kept somewhere safe.
I think Jasper should keep it since Jasper is immune to its ill effects. Big J, you're pretty fucking tough.
Mm-hmm.
I would normally say that Florence should keep it since Florence already has the golden stick, but I'm pretty sure that if I took that to Florence's bedroom, she'd shoot me. So
I
I'm
think
not.
Florence had a good time with it. You know, I don't see the big problem.
Ricardo,
mean,
you were screaming in terror because of it.
Allegedly, Jasper's the only one that supposedly saw that.
Well,
I trust Jasper.
I'm not known to lie, Ricardo.
Yeah,
I
we
think
don't
I've
disparage
myself.
Big J in this house.
I will keep it since it doesn't seem to be affecting me in any way.
That's
I
right.
will hold on to it.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Whatever you say, little R.
Ricardo, you're okay, right?
I was fine. I'm a little worried about the pyramids that we're supposed to be investigating. I saw something strange in a vision. The pyramid had white tentacles and tendrils coming out of the ground around it, grabbing people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that definitely didn't make you scream in horror. I'm gonna go tell Florence what we did, because I'm gonna just tell you that I feel as if we sandbag that, it's only gonna be worse, and I fear her. I fear her a lot.
Make sure you knock
It's
loudly.
okay.
Duh! Of
Just
course I'm
don't-
gonna knock.
And
Well,
announce who you are through the door.
I'm gonna go wrap it in a little
Listen.
like paper,
Wait,
brown paper,
wait,
anything
wait.
that's hanging around.
We
Just
don't
wrap
have we don't have to play with it, but it would be good to keep because when we go home, it may be worth putting in a museum somewhere. Yeah, you know.
Yes,
Make us
let's put it
all-
in a museum so more people can go insane and see cosmic eldritch terrible things.
They're not
For,
going to touch it. It's going to be under lock and key.
What? So Little R, I'm gonna let you repeat that back to you and let you figure out how absurd that is. I gotta go talk to Florence, and I'm gonna go talk to Florence and keep her. As I make my way, I'm like a kid who's dragging their feet because they know that they're probably in trouble. And I just slowly walk up. I look at the door. I look at my hand. Angus, you can't be a bitch now. I start to turn. Oh, she's so scary. Knock, 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 knock.
Florence, as you have secluded yourself, you are going through the kind of barricade, and just as you begin to feel like you've gained some control of the world around you, you hear a knock at the door, and you just know that he's found you. Mendoza has found you, and he has come to do whatever he did to Professor Sanchez to you. What do you do?
She looks at her lady's maid and says, I'm going to grab my rifle. You pull the barricade away and open the door when I say. And so I go grab my rifle and I stand as far back in the room as possible, have it ready and aimed at the fucking door, and then says, do it.
This
And
is my
so-
rifle. This is my gun.
Viewers, never let it be said that the Inkblood Demon is a metagamer. Okay, never let it be said that Inkblood Demon is a metagamer. I told you I was out. You gonna knock on the door? It's Angus.
Very good thing I've ever heard. But, all right, so the door is
Angus
pulled
sounds a lot like
open.
I'm coming to kill you.
Exactly.
It translates that to French.
You
and
literally
Arabic,
hear
actually.
furniture being moved away from the fucking door.
Door. It's Angus. I don't know why you're. Are you? Did I catch you at a bad time? It's Angus. Angus Irons. Dr. Angus. The
Sounds
man
like
with
what the
tiny
killer would
hands.
say.
Exactly. I don't know if
plans.
he can mimic voices. So... Dude didn't speak the other night, so I don't know what he sounds like.
The
He's my
door
uncle.
is pulled open, and just to add to this, as the door pulls inward, what is your lady maid's name?
Her name is Sophie Miller.
Okay, Sophie, she looks into the hallway first, and then she goes, "It's Mr. Irons."
And Flo just kind of peeks around with the rifle still trained on the
Oh!
door.
Why am I
shit.
dancing? Shit.
As she puts down the rifle and uncocks it.
So you said you found your husband's dead body, right? Your secret is safe with me, Florence.
I did not murder my husband. He was 25 years older than me and died. Come in.
I don't feel like I can refuse now. I slowly walk in. Hey, Florence, you like me, right? Oh, that's not a good sign.
Like is a strong word. Also
Carter,
a
you just
four-letter
shut the
word.
fuck up. You're not here. You're not helping
What
with this.
did you have to tell me?
That other than
And she's peeking around you through the hallway.
other than the fact that you're the smartest, most brilliant woman I've ever seen, and you're very patient and kind, we kind of kept poking around with the mask after you left.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course we did.
And
Well, mixed results. Big J, pretty immune to the mask. Georgie, not as immune. Also, I think Ricardo might be an idiot. I really like him. I don't think he actually has any college degree. I'm just saying. I saw him string together a logical argument. That shit swam like a brick. And also he has no idea how archaeologists dress. It was very offensive. Anyway, I'm gonna leave now because you have the same look on your face when you had the gun. Could you please say something? Anything?
You all are responsible for your own actions. I just know we are all going to our deaths.
Yeah. Hey, Florence, Flo. I Oh God, you're gonna shoot me when I say this. So you know how common sense is a big thing about for yours, the thing that you, yeah. So sorry, I'm so fucking scared of you. I look away. It's easier for me to talk to her when I'm staring at the wall. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just horrified. You don't blink. That is really, really something you should have checked out. Also, that's a really big gun, and you're not anyway. Your forearm strength is just impressive. Holy fuck! All right, I just got to get this out. So my dad, his name is Constantine Irons, and he's a member of this thing called the Midnight Society. I brought it up to you. You smooth played it if you did or didn't know anything about it. That was pretty spectacular. So his entire life he's been telling me things like, Angus, you need to take life more seriously, and Angus, you need to use your skills and save the world, and Angus, these scary things exist. And I'm like, nah, Dad, you're drunk. Also, why are you so fast? Please stop hitting me. But my trauma aside, the point that I'm trying to make is I really should have known better about this shit before I got involved with it. So I have no excuse. And I'm sorry. I'm going to leave now. And if you shoot me, could you ace me in the back so I can open casket? I'm pretty. And my mom deserves to see me off. I'm going. Bye. I said that without taking a breath. All that without a breath.
Over.
And as soon as he leaves, Florence goes back and barricades the door with Sophie.
Right.
Oh, and she does holler down. Please advise our lunch guests I'm not going to be in attendance. I'm not feeling well.
I will do anything you say.
All right. So, I believe that is everything you all wish to accomplish on Saturday. You all did arrange to meet with Larkin for lunch on Sunday, I believe.
I tell them that Flo is not going.
Is there any specific questions you, or the four of you, wish to ask Larkin? Or is it alright if we move forward to Monday morning?
I wouldn't say anything. Well, nothing really super specific. More just like, just inquiring about the background and history of the pyramids that we're supposed to be investigating, right? Just to try and learn more, but not without hinting, of course, at any of our recent findings.
Jasper, Georgie, or Angus, anything specific?
None for me. I'm actually being
Alright.
extra cautious because we did wreck Demon Dose's door. So I'm like trying to like not be obvious that it was Ricardo and I that broke down that door.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So,
Don't be suspicious.
you do have a lunch with Mr. Larkin. He does not provide any more information about the pyramid than what you already knew. He still does not tell you where the pyramid is, insisting that he does know where it is, and he will guide you to it. De Mendoza is not in attendance when you speak with him. So, our perspective will shift. Florence, your paranoia does fade with the good 2 days rest, really. And you all are coming together early in the morning of a Monday, I believe the 21st.
Question for you, Keeper.
Of course.
My lady's maid is something that Florence uses to help with her sanity sometimes. Does this count as spending some time working on getting some of that back?
I would say if you choose to spend that day doing so, yes.
once the paranoia is lifted, she would want to try to recover some of herself.
Right. Because I am being very kind. Just roll me a d10, because
Okay.
her presence is enough to curb some of the, let's say, worst aspects of what could have happened.
That's a 1.
Well, I guess her presence isn't that good. But you could recover 1 point of your sanity, we'll say,
Okay.
and you will not have to make any additional rolls for this instance. So you do
Okay.
find that she's able to kind of help you get through it.
Excellent. Hey, even if it's only 1, that's 1 I didn't have before. So
Every little bit counts.
every little bit counts. Yeah, if Flo survives this, she's going to be in an institution.
Yeah, it'd be perfectly fine.
So you all arrive outside of the Bar Cordova, and you find a series of trucks, 3 of them that are in the middle of being packed up with a variety of equipment needed for the expedition. Augustus and De Mendoza are here, and you see that they are kind of off to the corner having a conversation. Is there anything the 5 of you wish to do before you get into these trucks?
I'm gonna look for
Um,
Jackson.
So first question, actually, before we get too far into the escape, or I guess running to our imminent dooms, um, did Georgie or Jasper hide the mask somewhere else? Because we don't really have a permanent residence here. So
I
unless
wrapped it up in a piece of paper and I put
Okay.
it among my things.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just want to make sure because, like, if we leave it in town, we're probably just gonna lose it.
I would say as we were getting ready to leave the hotel, Flo would have asked Georgie how good her batting arm is.
Well, I like decent, not like the best. I'm more bookworm than baseball player.
Understood. I'll keep the peace with my things.
All right. All right. And you do find Jackson. He is having a conversation with the lead driver. And as he sees the 5 of you walk up, he gives the man a wave and a pat on his back, straightens his hat, and then walks up. I hope you all had a good weekend. I'm not sure if any of you checked on Professor Sanchez over the time, but he believed he'll recover, though he might not be able to speak as well or often as he used to. I just had a conversation with the drivers. Unfortunately, they don't have enough room for everyone to sit in one truck, so it looks like we'll have to kind of split up. It seems like Mendoza and Larkin are going to be in the lead vehicle. I don't mind sitting with the 2 of them, but I don't want to, make any assumptions. Do you know how you would like to arrange yourselves?
I can sit with you, Jackson.
All right. And the other 2
All
can take each of the other 2 trucks. That's
We're not all
okay.
traveling together.
There's all the 3 vehicles. We all can't fit into one. I believe 4 could fit into one vehicle, though it'd be a bit of a tough fit. You'd be with some of the more wide materials, or you could split up 2 and 2.
I will ride. If we do 2 by 2, I will ride with Georgie if it's okay with Georgie. Whoever rides with Florence is lucky. She is most fierce.
Yes, Gus, it's okay if you ride with me. Just I don't quite like automobiles.
Georgie,
Mm.
it's okay.
Well,
I will
Ricardo,
shield
it
you.
looks like you're with me.
All right then. I feel very safe with Our Lady of Peace, Florence.
Before we ride, Jackson, I do want to fill you in on a couple of things, and I do look around for anybody before I tell Jackson like what we've gone through.
That is a difficult tale to process. Not that I don't believe you, of course, but I've heard a bit about the CoC7e in the area, and after what we saw, I'm having a bit of a hard time disbelieving some of it, but I won't tell you what to do, but I would remind once we get into the trucks, it'll be kind of difficult to. It will be best to keep the peace, is what
No,
I'm.
I totally agree with you guys. I would have felt the same way if I wasn't right there with them when it had happened. I understand what you mean though. And we're here, but I don't know if keeping the peace would be our main goal. But we're here.
All right. I trust that the five of you are able to keep yourselves together. If something does happen, I will, of course, support you to the best of my ability.
Understand.
We'll have to be together, I suppose. Miss Buckley, I did look into what I could do on that child you mentioned.
Yes, the student.
I found word about their grandmother, Nyara. I was able to get word through a letter to the area. We won't know for sure until we get there, but we maybe have an opportunity to speak with her.
Lovely. I would enjoy that.
All right, well,
I'm just
that's
happy to have someone who's capable in the more murderous arts, because that is definitely not my forte. I am a master with the pen, but not the gun, unfortunately.
I mean, do you count shooting a slug as murder?
Slug. I mean, is that the only thing you shoot?
Targets?
That's pretty. Slug's pretty. I mean, that slug was pretty big. So, but I'm sure you can hit the tiny ones too.
I probably could.
My point was, I can't shoot. I've never held a gun, so I'd probably just hurt myself.
I believe that. Absolutely. And she gets in the vehicle with her lady's maid.
all right. All right, you all divided up, with Jasper and Jackson joining Larkin and De Mendoza in the frontmost vehicle. There is another round, a final round of checks as the workers go by and tighten up any loose straps. Then you all set out. The journey is going to be about 800 miles, so it's going to take a couple of days before you arrive in Puno. So, as you all are traveling, can I have all of you make constitution rolls, please? The changes in elevation begin to take their toll.
Oh no.
I'm going to spend a luck point to make just one luck point to make that a success.
Okay.
What do I need?
Also, if anybody cares, my luck's 69.
Ah.
If you want to, Ricardo, you need to spend 4 luck to pass the check. If that was what your question was.
Yeah. All right. We'll do it. He doesn't need to be thrown up right now. Besides,
Looks like Florence and Georgie are struggling with these changes. So a couple of hours into the trip, it starts. You all begin to feel this dizziness and the nausea and headaches, and before long, the trip has transitioned from a pleasant but warm journey into a almost torturous 8 hour long journey. You all are struggling. I will say from this point forward, if you do anything too physically active, you will have a penalty dice on those rolls. So keep that in mind. And we will start. We will start with the Ricardo and Florence car. Is there any conversations you two are having?
Oh, she's probably asking him about what he teaches at the university that he works at, and basically engaging him in topics that he knows well.
Okay.
She's trying to suss out exactly why this guy is here.
Makes sense. Makes sense. He doesn't talk as much as the as our loudmouth archaeologist. So
No. So she's just engaging him in polite conversation about his work and basically what he's passionate about. So that to draw him into conversation, to talk about his passions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's talking about and he'd be talking about how he teaches classes on mostly the natural world and not medicine, but like some physiology stuff because he's got an expertise in first aid too, and he also does psychology and has a keen interest in occult studies, though those classes are a little more frowned upon in
Actually,
most...
but then with that, Florence said, they really shouldn't be, though. I also have a keen interest in that.
It's just so interesting.
It really is.
Just the thought of, the fantastical.
Yes. And the fact that there are cultures all around the world that have stories that are so similar.
Right? Yeah. And it's what drew me, like my curiosity drew me to that, to this, excursion. It just sounded like an amazing opportunity to go explore.
I mean, a pyramid in here?
Right? I've never been to this part of the world before. I was stuck in Spain. Now and I said to come to Peru, the other side of the world. What an amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, fascinating. Yeah, Did you see the pyramid?
I mean,
when you looked at the
yes, I've seen the pyramid. I've in pictures, or I've seen picture representations of what I believe the pyramid should look like. I've seen some interesting drawings, some fantastical drawings that may, but sometimes people make all sorts of interesting art in their minds, and so you can't really tell what may be. I mean, I would assume those things wouldn't really be the real thing.
Keeper, is there something I could roll to compare the vision that I had of the pyramid with any known pyramids? Because at this time, Egyptology was huge.
It's true.
And photos and journal and newspaper articles about finds in the pyramids in Giza and stuff would have been very well known.
I would say you can make either a history or occult roll. Either one would work.
Okay. And let me go here to see what I got. Okay, that's a hard success.
So, I would say for sure it was not an Egyptian style pyramid you saw. The craftsmanship was different. This was definitely one closer to the Central American style. I will say with a hard, you recognize it is closer to Aztec in design.
Yeah, I know right now, like the big thing is like the pyramids in Egypt and stuff like that. I really don't think the one we're gonna find is like those, though. I think it's going to be more Aztec.
Hmm. Yes, less flat and more like
Stepped.
stepped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've read a little bit about those. I believe those are the pictures that I saw when I was looking for something that may be in this region, uh, or that people had shown me their, kind of personal depictions of. I believe this probably isn't the only one, so I
Oh, I'm
assume
certain not. I mean, the
they may have
Aztecs
been,
had quite the society in their
yeah,
day.
they may have been drawing. Maybe they saw a different pyramid and were just, drawing from those memories that they had and said it'll probably look like this.
Mm,
Big steps, though. I mean, probably we'll
yes.
probably have to climb up them. I
Or
might need a
maybe there's
ladder.
something under it.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of big stones. Never. I mean, if they could build those big pyramids with all those stones, who's to say they couldn't have built something under it?
Exactly.
So much.
It's always something interesting to be found.
Hmm. Well, hopefully no big rocks fall on us because that could end our journey fairly fast.
You are such a fatalist.
Well, it I don't look at it as fatalism. I look at it as prudence. Try to avoid being squished by big rocks.
I mean, that is generally the goal.
I'm
And we'll go
a
ahead and transition out.
All right.
little
So
risk averse.
Georgie and Angus in car number 2. Are there any conversations you two are having?
Georgie has tried to curl herself up against the door of this vehicle because she's not feeling too hot in this car.
Georgia, what can I do to make you feel better? Want some
Uh,
water? You want how about my jacket as a pillow?
I will take the jacket. Next expedition, can we please go back to horse and cart? Because, like, I'm used to the jostling on those. These things are terrible. She's gonna tuck the coat under her head as she's.
Georgia, you know how we've always prided ourselves on our platonic relationship?
Yes.
My arm might be a little more comfortable than the. I don't know what the fuck this seat is made out of. Hatred and malevolence, quite frankly, is
I
what I
I
think it is.
I am convinced that whoever made this seat dislikes people in general, and she's gonna lean over onto him instead.
It's okay. Yeah. Um,
Did you send the letter to your father?
yeah, I did. And you know how I hate to ask him for anything.
Well, what did you ask him?
How much do you want to know, Georgie?
What the weather, how you doing? How's your mom? Uh, the general stuff.
The greatest compliment I ever got from my father was that wasn't completely terrible. I don't think the man's ever had a conversation about the weather in his life, unless he was hoping that I got hit by lightning. No, that's not what we conversed about. Um,
Trying to see if he knows anything about this entire expedition.
well, I had a moment where I decided that I was probably going to die doing this, and I wasn't going to turn back. And I just wanted him to let him know where we were generally, and he's much more keen. He'd be much more keen on avenging me in terms of the loss of a family member more so than a son. So, um, I well, these stupid fucking necklaces. Look, look. The first one's shitty, just black. This one's a fucking cursed compass, and that's my keepsake. That's my fucking keepsake for my family.
I mean, I
So-
got at least bad cooking skills.
You're. I don't. Your mother did her best. I wasn't. Anyway,
To be fair, it was the maid's day off. So she was doing her best
I've I've never seen someone make soup with a.
with the consistency of something like meatloaf. It's a skill. It's really a skill.
I was gonna say a rolling pin, but yeah, that was also a thing. Anyway, Georgie, I just hang tight, and we'll talk about dear old dad in the Midnight Society later. Just try to get some shut eye. And with
Uh,
that, I
I
stare out the window, brooding.
And with that, we have one more car. And in the front car, we have Jasper alongside Jackson, Larkin, and Day Mendoza. Anything Jasper is saying in this moment? What are you up to?
I'm going to talk to Dean Mendoza.
Jasper's sitting with the Mendoza.
Okay, he has been oscillating between ignoring everyone and staring daggers at both you and Jackson.
I basically go, Dean Mendoza, is that a family name?
Yes.
We may have the same ancestor. My last name is Mendoza, see?
Sure. It is possible.
You think they ever visited the Philippines?
I wouldn't know.
How have you been?
Fine.
Eating well?
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Nothing.
Really? That's unfortunate. See, I packed some chicharrones to share.
No, thank you.
And I do share the chicharrones to Larkin, I offer it, and then Jackson, and then myself.
Larkin does take it, and you can see he looks much healthier now. He's not quite as sweaty, and his hands aren't shaking. And Larkin goes, "Oh, well, that was very thoughtful of you.
No problem.
I'm glad to see the weather's not bothering you too much. Some people have a hard time shifting and dealing with the mountain air."
This kind of heat. It's very similar to my homeland. It's
Oh,
not the heat, actually. It's the humidity that gets you.
I had heard that before.
Yeah.
So what?
Have you ever been to, like, have you ever traveled that far in Asia?
Oh, well, not in Asia specifically, but I've traveled before. This isn't my first expedition. I've had an opportunity to explore the different corners of the world, and hopefully, once you finish here, I'll have the chance to do many more.
I hope so too. I've grown to like you a lot, Larkin.
Oh yeah, that your appreciation is a reward in itself. Of course,
Yeah, Demon Mendoza, don't you like Larkin?
Yes.
Sure, sound like a good hype man. Jackson, more chicharrones?
No, thank you. My stomach isn't exactly doing well at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Sometimes when you eat too much, you might feel a little, nauseous.
I should be all right once we arrive in Puno and I can get some solid ground beneath me. But thank you for the offer, though. They're very kind.
Um, sorry to bring it back to you again, D. Mendoza. How long have you been here? Like, how long have you stayed with just when Larkin showed up, or have you been here a while?
Been here long enough.
How long is long enough? Would you say more than a decade? It was just really funny to me that a lot of people, a lot of locals specifically, just really had an interesting reaction when they heard my last name. And since you're the only one who shares my last name, I was just kind of curious your experience here.
I don't spend a lot of time talking with the locals.
Oh. Is it because they don't like you?
I don't care what they think.
Oh, I was just wondering if you knew that they didn't.
Make me a spot hidden roll. Or a psychology roll, actually.
Well, let's see which one is better. Let's see. Spot hidden is not great. But it is much better than my psychology roll. So let's do spot hidden. How much can I use to make that a success? Can I bring
you would want to spend, you'd need to spend at least 17 points. But you can spend as much as you like for further types of successes.
Yeah, let's do 17. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
you notice throughout the conversation, Mendoza's body language is more aggressive. You notice that he every once in a while he flexes his fingers almost as if he wants to do something, but every so often you notice that Larkin will place a hand on his shoulders usually. The first few times it was innocuous, almost as you see as Larkin reaches for something behind him or is showing him something either on a compass or on the map. But after, I will say 6 or 7 times, you begin to notice that it is on purpose.
I see. I smile and I keep this knowledge, new knowledge that I found that maybe I have understood things differently. But I keep that to myself. But I do smile at D. Mendoza. And I smile wider at Larkin.
It's just a reminder if there are things you didn't manage to pick up in Puno, in Lima, we'll be able to pick them up in Puno. We will switch out our cars here for proper pack animals. So if you need something to make roughing it in the wild a bit more bearable, I would recommend stocking up on it once we arrive. From what I remember, it's pretty pricey for foreigners, but they have most things you can find.
I usually can move undetected as a foreigner most of the time. So, in this area anyway. Especially since I can speak Spanish. It helps.
Can I have everyone make me another Constitution roll, please? How we're handling the
How you guys hanging in there? What's the weather look like up there, huh? Extreme success.
Oh goodness! So I think
doing great.
Everybody except Georgie is feeling wonderful. Georgie, you're suffering. You're suffering through multiple days of this.
She is contemplating writing a very strongly worded letter to Mr. Ford about his darn automobiles.
I do not appreciate your automobiles, places, and
He's gonna send the Pinkertons after you. What are you fucking doing?
Look here, I'll take the Pinkertons.
Look, he's not Blizzard. He can't do that.
Are there
Thought
are
it was
there
Wizards
any
of the Coast.
conversations the five
sorry,
of you wish
Wizards.
to have
Yes,
before we
like-
arrive at Puno?
I would like desperately to talk to Jasper and Ricardo.
Okay. So I will say on day 2, as the truck stopped for the evening, the five of you, everyone will have the opportunity to get out and kind of stretch their limbs. And you all can find whoever you like.
I'm going to approach Jasper and Ricardo. First, Ricardo. Hey, Ricardo.
Hola, Angus.
Hi. This might be a strange question. Just throwing this one out there. Florence didn't say anything about killing me, right? Or any bodily harm, any lingering anger.
Is
me?
Florence still like with me when you're asking?
I
This
don't
question?
Oh
care.
no! I'm off checking on Georgie because she's looking green around the
Yeah, I
gills.
wouldn't have posed that
but
question.
I will say that Florence didn't even mention him.
I
God,
know, right?
That makes me so happy. Actually, that makes Vegas so happy. So that's a no.
Well, you know, we didn't really talk too much about you.
Thank God. Oh, thank God.
She
Thank God.
she did seem a little bit annoyed with you, but nothing too major. You know, just.
I hug Ricardo. Oh, you are the bearer of beautiful news.
I don't think she's going to be looking to put you in her sights, as it were.
Oh, you have no idea how that literally pleases me. Oh, I really fucked up, man. I'm just gonna
It's okay, Angus. There will be more time for that later.
Thank you. And then I would like to go to Jasper.
Okay.
Hey,
I
how's your trip?
I'm doing better than Georgie. Hey, how was the car ride with our employers? Catch my drift.
Interesting.
Everything. That
Quite
is.
interesting.
Oh,
As you can see, I'm still alive.
well, yes, that's a plus. I'm a big fan of that. I like you, Big J.
But something is very interesting.
Go on.
I look around. Is anybody near me listening at all?
No.
And I give a summary
Okay.
of what occurred in the car.
All right. Very good. Keep up the good work, Big J. I'm a big fan. Gonna go sit now.
Are you feeling okay?
Well, Jasper, yes, I'm great. Definitely not a cowardly man facing down an existential threat beyond his comprehension. Bye. And I go back to
I tap him before he goes.
I stop after being tapped.
Being a man can mean many things.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna ponder that.
Good.
Brood.
You should.
I'm gonna brood. I found that brooding helps with the fear of everything. Brooding time, and I go off to the car to brood.
Well, he's a very peculiar guy. And I continue looking through my stuff.
Okay. Florence and Georgie, anything you two wish to say to each other?
Florence will actually come up to Georgie and say, "Here, take this." And she hands her a tin. It's actually an Altoids tin. They were around in 1920. The mints may help settle your stomach.
Oh, thank you. The cars. I miss the buggies. Why can't we just take the buggies? I'm so happy to think that it might be pack animals for the rest of the time. She'll take one of the mints.
You and me both. I do very well on horseback.
I keep hoping that, somehow, maybe the vehicles will go away, but people just keep buying them, and I'm getting concerned. Like,
I know. Progress waits for no one.
it really does. She like just finds herself a place to sit down because she's just like, I cannot with these
And Florence will
vehicles.
take out a handkerchief and like dab the sweat off her brow. And
Thank you, Miss Florence. So what do you think the journey's gonna be like for the rest of this?
probably miserable, but we will endure.
We will. She's kind of gonna look to see if like Mendoza or Larkin are anywhere around here.
I'm looking for them. You find both Mendoza and Larkin are having a conversation with Elias towards the front of the vehicle convoy.
Wonder what that's about.
Florence looks. I don't know.
Mr. Larkin does look better than what Jasper and Ricardo said.
Yes, he does. It is very suspicious.
I'm kind of interested what would happen if we separate those two.
You, dear Georgie, have a cunning mind.
Us librarians call it thinking ahead and to solve various different problems that might arise.
Maybe we'll be able to find that out.
I hear the jungle's a little dangerous, people get separated off all the time.
I'm sure.
Have you seen Gus at all?
No, I think he's avoiding me. He seems to be thoroughly terrified of me.
Oh, he's terrified of everybody. I need to return his jacket to him. Or I'm just going to keep it for a bit.
Just keep it.
I'll find him eventually. She's just kind of just still keeping an eye out on the three up at the front just to see if like they like split off or anything.
Flo's kind of occasionally peering to see what their expressions kind of look like if they're seem to be placid, just discussing things, or if they seem to be upset about something.
Make me a spot hidden or psychology roll.
Ooh, can I do that too?
Yes, you
Not
may.
really great at either of those, but we'll try.
Let's see here.
Nope. Oh, I can spend 11 luck. I will spend 11 luck to get a success.
Okay. All right. So, you can see that the conversation is rather one-sided. Jackson is fully engaged. To you, Florence, Mendoza looks much more irritated, whereas you can pick up that Larkin seems to be more receptive to whatever Jackson is saying. For you, Georgie, it's hard to notice, but you think for sure Augustus is his positive attitude is more of a show. You could pick up kind of the very basic, like kind of underneath the surface looks of irritation with whatever Jackson is asking, but you could tell he is trying his best to kind of look cordial about it, whereas Mendoza seems to be very irritated.
Well, Mr. Jasper and Mr. Elias, whatever they had a conversation with, I think it's irritated both of them. Mr. Larkin's smile is a bit too tight.
Yeah, I kind of Definitely T. Mendoza is not impressed.
That could be problemsome for Mr. Elias. In case they, we have to deal with another slug.
Well, luckily, Jasper's pretty handy with a gun, too.
We'll have to let them know to keep an eye on Mr. Elias.
You rest here, dear. I'll go find Jasper.
Oh, thank goodness. The ground is still spinning.
Keep the tin. I have more.
Oh, okay, I will. And she's gonna lean against whatever wall she found to lean against, and it's just gonna close her eyes for a few moments.
And Florence will just find Jasper and advise to keep an eye on Jackson, because looks like the monsters are restless.
Yeah. And with that warning given, I think we are going to take our break for the evening. So we will be back in about 15 minutes to see just how the story unfolds for our investigators. All right, welcome back to our Call of Cthulhu campaign. As we are going through day 3, I need for Georgie to make me a Constitution roll, please. I believe you're the
You
only
know how
person
poorly
has
this is going to
failed.
continue to be. Hot dang it!
You have finally, on the final day of travel, you have adjusted into the mountain air, and you are you're starting to feel good again.
It's the Altoids, I'm telling you.
The Altoids. It's entirely the Altoids.
So, on this last day of travel, are there any conversations the 5 of you wish to have with either each other or with any of the other key other people?
I don't antagonize the 2 anymore, but I am keeping an eye out on Jackson just to make sure, generally he's not left too alone. Just keeping an eye out.
I cautiously approach Florence.
She's sitting with Sophie and they're talking about a few things, but she stops the conversation and looks up at you.
I wait to be addressed.
What can I do for you, Mr. Irons?
Oh, we're friends. Please call me Gus.
Oh, I wasn't certain because you seem absolutely terrified of me.
There was that incident with the...
Well, yes. I had just had the absolute daylight scared out of me, and I've thought that everything was coming after us.
I don't begrudge you. I'm just...
Did I shoot you?
That seems slightly reductionist, but I will say you did not, which I appreciate. So
even when I'm scared out my wits, I can recognize a friendly face.
So we're friends. I felt like things were going so well between the 2 of us, and then that incident happened.
No, that incident was me being absolutely scared. And once I saw it was a friendly face and not someone using your voice to try to get access, I lowered my weapon.
Which I appreciate.
So, do not be terrified of me, Gus. I'm not out to get you.
I just thought that maybe you would want some space after the... I'm ad-libbing all of this. I don't really... Not really done this type of thing before.
What do you need?
Can I truthfully answer that question?
Yes. I prefer it.
I'd just like to sit with a friend and be quiet.
Have a seat.
Thank you. Thanks for giving Georgie those Altoids.
Oh, not a problem.
She gets really sweaty. I showed it, like copious.
If nothing else, they would help settle her nerves.
And her central nervous system. And then I just kind of quietly sit and reflect, and you might see a crooked smile adorn my face.
And Florence asked, what was that society you asked me about?
Oh, I pull out the necklaces. The Midnight Society.
Do you mind? And she asked, basically indicates she wants to look closer at the necklaces.
You want me to take them off?
No, that's fine. Let me just take a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, my father had one like that one, and that one, actually, and had one other.
Oh, dear. That would explain a lot. That would explain so much about you, and I mean that in a 99% positive way.
I was never... I heard mention of it, and I'm being a curious thing, even in my youth, did sneak into his study at times and read some of his things. But I was never brought in, as it were. I believe my younger brother was, but he died in the war.
My father would really like you, because he tried to bring me in multiple times, and I declined multiple times.
Yes, well, my daddy's dead, and he wasted his efforts on a son that died. So, I'm the one that survived.
My dad never quit. That's a story for a different time. I will simply say that I, as much as I begrudge to give him any credit, shitty dad, I kind of have to fucking eat my words, because he had a point. I hope you don't meet him in the immediate future, but if you get to meet him in the distant future, that would be probably a good thing, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm not so certain I'll be meeting anyone after this trip.
Well, if you do meet him, it means that's who I wrote.
While I'm no longer scared out my absolute wits about this situation, I'm still of a mind that this is a doomed expedition.
Oh, we are so royally screwed. Hello? I did some mental calculations, and I can't. Let's see. We have strange vampires dash vampiric slugs. I don't know quite how you sort that out. You have cursed artifacts that, with a nice little caveat, seem to have some connection to hell, space hell. I don't know. Then
it wasn't hell.
The impossible combination or confluence of timelines. And then that Demon Doza guy, I mean, even if he is normal, he is just...
He's not normal. He's been around since the 1500s.
Yeah, we should probably kill him.
Yes,
so then we have
should.
a 1500 person. And then on top of that, we also have the fact that we are, as the scholars would say, out in bumfuck nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we do have firearms. We have your zest for life. We have Jasper's indomitable spirit.
Zest for life.
We have Ricardo's. We have Ricardo, and we have Georgie's expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And well,
so tell me, have you ever actually had to handle a shovel in your expeditions in the past?
Oh, very much so. This answer might be quite irritating to you, but I'm actually quite good at some things when I put my mind to it. It's
excellent. How's your arm?
One moment as I look over my character sheet. Let's take a gander at that old strength score. I go to make a muscle, and it ain't.
Okay. All right.
I have
I appreciate you trying.
Dexterous, tiny hands,
Okay, tiny hands. Yes. Okay.
getting all kinds of places.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that bar that we have, I'm thinking that will do a world of damage.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure he's a weird vampire thing, and that thing had the burnt flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like I think he might have tried to grab it and it burnt him. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I think that might be a good weapon, but I'm not sure any of us have the strength to really go for it.
Well, what I'm banking on is that it won't take a lot of strength, given how vulnerable I think he is to it. And I also have I'm a contingency plan guy. So imagine one of us goes up and we hit him with it and it doesn't do a whole lot. Well, those slugs are made of flesh and blood, and he's clearly made of flesh and blood. So if we just shoot him in the face, I don't
Oh,
know.
absolutely. We can
Yeah,
do that while we do it.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I only have one real pressing concern with all of this, and if I'm being honest, it's I don't want to sound all sad, but I know I'm a piece of shit, and by how I reckon I probably deserve to die. I just want to keep the rest of you alive through it.
We are all
Even
responsible for our own actions.
yes, again, slightly reductionist. You wield that like a strange rhetorical sword. I, I even find myself having a strange affection for Ricardo. It's so bizarre because I don't know what it is that he does, but I'm confident he's quite good
He's
at it.
very much into esoteric knowledge.
It's yes, it's he has this subtle way of taunting me, and I have no comebacks for it, like at all. He's
Well,
so
now,
crafty.
Gus, I think that's a personal problem.
It is a personal problem. I have a lot of personal problems.
Obviously, and I'm not your mother, okay?
Thank God. No, you're like my big brother.
Thank you.
My big, beautiful brother. Listen, you know what I mean. You know precisely what I mean.
Gus, stop. We're friends.
Exactly. That's
Just
why I called you
stop.
my big, beautiful brother.
That's just stop.
My words.
Enjoy your brooding. I'm gonna go back to my needlework.
Okay. I bet I'm better at brooding than you are in needlework. Ready, set, contest, and I start
believe
brooding.
it.
Alright, so as the third day is clearly starting to get to everyone's minds a little bit, you all make it through. It's the journey to Puno seems to have occurred without much fanfare. As the trucks are pulling in early on the fourth day, you see De Mendoza and Larkin begin to arrange the movement of the things from the trucks, and you see pack animals and other people begin to come over. While that is happening, Jackson Elias looks at you all and gestures for you to come closer to him. I have arranged. It'll be up to you. Is there anyone who does not wish to go to speak with Jackson?
No, Flo will be there.
I'll be there.
Okay, I have arranged for a meeting with Nera. She is a local healer out on the man-made lakes on Titicaca. I have a boat arranged as well. I don't mind going, of course. Would any of you like to join me? Regardless of the true details, I think it's safer for us to be together.
I agree. Should we all go? This is about that student that went missing. This is his grandmother.
Yes, I would like to go. Ricardo?
Ricardo's scribbling in a notebook. Yes, indeed. A wise choice.
Yes, the wisdom in such a choice is profound. I concur.
Angus, are you okay? Do you need a drink?
No, I am fit and yes, I do. I'm thirsty. I need water.
Here, have some, I have some extra water.
Georgie just confusedly looking between the two before going, I'll go with you as well.
I aggressively drink the water.
These jungles, they'll get to you. They play games on your mind.
My mind is nope. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, if you all are ready to go, we can set out now. I'd prefer to leave and be back before Larkin and Mendoza notice we've stepped away.
Yes.
Ooh. Yes.
As
Unsanctioned
you all-
adventure.
You will make your way over. You find the town of Puno itself is small, and it is built almost like a ring around the lake. You can see the actual island where you're going is about 2 miles, not inland, into the water. And as you all are getting onto the boats, can I have you all make me a spot hidden roll, please?
Mm-hmm. Success.
All right, Gus and Ricardo. As you all are getting on to the boat, you get this feeling that you're being watched. And as you look around, you notice there's a middle-aged woman and a young man who are just. You can see that they are standing around doing their best to look to kind of blend in, but you can tell they're watching you.
Oh, hey,
Hmm.
hey, group, gang. Shit. How do
How do I do this
I
subtly?
I need to brood over there, which is oddly enough a strange thing or a common thing for him to say. And I just like walk 10 paces opposite direction of them, and I just kind of like stare the other way. Keeper, can I do an idea roll?
What information are you after? Just
Angus
the
is
nature
trying
of
to
it.
Angus is trying to find some way to leverage the fact that he knows that they're being watched to his advantage. And he's thinking on it really hard because he's not good at this type of subterfuge or game within game type thing.
Ricardo is going to quietly whisper to uh, his two companions. He's not going to point at the people, but he's just kind of like, while looking at his companions, kind of like tilt his head, try to do it subtly toward the others, and be like, "We're
Um,
being somebody's watching us."
Gus, you can make the idea roll.
Is that an intelligence check or
Intelligence, yes.
Intelligentsia.
So, as you sit there and you think about it for a moment, you gather that it may not have been the best time to attack you when you were in the trucks, but based on what you've experienced, based on what you've seen, you don't think it would have necessarily been a bad one. If you assume that Mendoza is also with these people who are watching you, you think that they might be after something else. And you know that you are going on this island. You begin to wonder, you begin to question if perhaps these people who are watching you are after something or someone on this island. And that you all may or may not be about to lead them to whatever it is they're looking for.
okay, after a what we would call an expert brooding session, I rejoin my peers, my colleagues who definitely respect me, and I very quietly whisper all of that just for the sake of brevity.
Florence just looks at you and says, then we set up a trap.
I'll go
Oh,
get the fucking shovel.
they might be after Nera. She had mentioned feeling like people have been watching her in her letter, which is partially why she's gone to this lake in the first place. She's also someone who's a bit of an expert on the region, and she's been here for most of her life. I wonder if they are searching for her?
Oh, it's likely. So we set up a trap.
All right.
We lure them where we want them, and then see if they'll respond to questioning, and if not, well,
How are we going to lure them? Someone is going to dress as a student and
no,
be bait?
they're obviously they're based on what Gus just seemed to infer based on their behavior. It's likely they're going to follow us.
All right, I guess we can lead them somewhere a bit more quiet, secluded.
Possible. How big is the island?
Oh, about 2-3 miles across.
Okay. Do we have a map?
I will say you do not at the moment, but you could get one. You could ask around for something, I would say.
Jasper, do you think you could get us a map?
Sure.
Okay.
And I go and get a map.
Okay. I will say it'll take you 30 minutes. So you'll leave before getting on to the boat, and you find it's not the type of map you would buy. It's basically a hand-drawn map with different homes that are labeled with different. Actually, the names would be in Spanish, so I believe Jasper can read them. The rest of you,
That's why I said Jasper.
no idea.
I can read them too. Ricardo also speaks
Oh,
Spanish.
Ricardo speaks Spanish. Yep.
Then you two recognize a few. Some of them are fishermen's huts, you gather. They're labeled basically places where you can buy fish and things like that. A few of them are houses, though you do notice that the houses don't have people's names on them.
And as you two basically point out the different landmarks there, what about maybe one of those fishing huts?
Yeah. I feel like the fishing huts would, being public enough, but would give us access, but hopefully private enough that we could have an interesting conversation.
Yes.
I don't want to kill anybody.
That's not the goal. The goal is to get information. Why are they after her?
I
Why
just
are they
have a-
following us to get to her?
I'm just saying, as a pessimist, I'm just saying, I understand. Flo, I understand.
But ultimately,
right.
if it's me or them, it's going to be them.
Yes. We haven't done anything wrong. Best as I can reckon.
Thus, we will be as deadly as we need to be, not as we want to be. And I promise you, I don't want to kill anyone either.
That's not the goal.
Big J, I would follow you into the depths of hell. Please don't go there.
I'll admit I'm not the most experienced at a fight, but I am a pretty decent shot with my revolver here. I don't assume, but I assume you all can protect yourselves. It is possible that the other people on the island will be in danger, so I would appreciate it if we are able to be wary of that.
Yes.
Right.
Because if they're going to follow us, we can't stop them from that. But at least we can lure them somewhere away from the target.
If I might pose a question, what if we did it here? Like, not immediately here, but is there a way? And I only say that because maybe they pose a threat to who we're going to go see. I'm just trying to think of all of the angles. It's a lot easier when you just dig stuff up and date it and declare it to be a find.
I mean, you want to walk up to them and ask them a question, see if they don't run?
Do you want me to? I'll do it. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'll do it.
She slides her arm into yours and says, let's go.
Okay. What angle are we playing? Oh, go ahead,
Jasper,
Georgie.
you want to come along or?
I would like to present a different idea. We cannot prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are following us. They could deny it immediately.
They could.
We're in public. But if we lead them somewhere and they head into it, then
That's proof that they're following.
and I would rather do that than to randomly chase away information before we can grab hold of it.
And she looks at Gus.
Well, Florence, have you ever been bait before?
I can play any role you throw at me.
I'm not good at throwing, but I understand.
Let's go. We'll
All
go
right.
across the water and see if they follow.
Okay. All right. Do you want to act like you're sick or vulnerable or something, or should I be sick and vulnerable?
I can behave seasick.
Okay. All right. I can support somebody who's basically seasick. I just look
Yeah,
over at Georgie.
and so she'll be kind of leaning against you a little bit.
You need to work on the
Okay.
perspiration, Georgie. All right. And
One
off
does
we go.
not talk about a lady's perspiration.
One just did.
Okay. All right. You all are on the boat. It is a short paddle trip across before you arrive. You find, as soon as you step off the boat, that your feet are sinking into the wet and moist ground. It gives this kind of unsteady, uncomfortable feeling, a bit like walking on something that's neither truly ground nor truly liquid. But as you're moving, Jackson leads you along a winding path until you get to a unassuming hut. This hut has a single door, and as he steps up, he knocks on it. Something you'd like to say?
Yeah, I was thinking we were luring the people following us to a fishing hut.
Did you want to do that now or after meeting with the woman?
I
Up
just
to you.
worry that we've just led them straight to the woman.
Yeah.
Up to
We
you.
we,
If you
we
wish
were
to-
trying to avoid that.
What we will say, if you want to, you can have had that arranged before you started walking. So it
Okay.
will be up to you. If that is what you
Ye-
are trying to do.
Yeah,
Can
we're
I
trying to
have
lure them
you-
to not show them where this woman lives.
Yeah. We're not
Okay.
competent, but we're not that
Can-
incompetent. if
It's
that
up to
makes-
you. So for those of you who are hiding, roll me a stealth check. For those of you who are attempting to deceive, I would say disguise. Trying to hide yourselves as something you are not. So,
Could I position using charm?
sure,
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Wow, that was a failure. Shit.
Can I be using my fabulous knowledge of psychology to try and act in a way that would be manipulative.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with as well, or trying to go with.
In what way are you trying? In what way are you trying to use psychology? What do you want? What are you trying to make people think?
Hmm. Trying to appear unassuming, harmless. Maybe sitting calmly, reading a book. Uh, you know, basically just trying to do everything I can to appear as harmless as possible. Because I'm very good at looking harmless since I am.
I spent luck to bring mine to a success.
Okay, I will say it'll be you need a hard success for what you want to do, Ricardo.
Fine.
There's a European
Okay.
on an island in the middle of Peru, so it's going to be a little hard to not be as obvious.
So you said disguise, since I'm trying to trick them with
Mhm.
the C6. Okay.
Am
Ooh.
I? Oh, wait, it's both.
Ooh, I
It's,
got it.
I'm gonna do charm. If is that okay?
Charm is
Wow.
okay.
I'm gonna spend the luck.
Sorry, and I'm
That's a
also
lot
gonna
of luck.
make it a success from 58 to 40.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 37 points.
Okay, so you all take the time to arrange yourselves and to attempt to deceive. But as you are waiting, and you see that Jackson has taken up a position inside of one of the other huts. As you are waiting, a person steps off of a one of their own boats, carrying to what looks like a bucket of fish. And as they are moving, they trip, and as they fall, they drop the bucket, and that noise startles Georgie, who attempts to back away, but as she does, she presses in to the kind of side of one of these fish huts, and a part of it splinters and breaks off, revealing her location, because Georgie did fumble on trying to be hidden. So unfortunately, Georgie's location is definitely not hidden. Can I have a group luck roll to see how this works out for you all? For this, the person who has the lowest luck rolls.
I have
Okay.
22.
I have
I have
30.
I have 14.
Okay.
Been spending
Looks like
luck.
You
So
roll.
fast.
Wah, 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 wah.
All right. So, you sit there for 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. People come and go, but no one draws your attention. Neither of the two people that Angus saw appears.
Okay, we'll meander around the island a bit on our way to the lady's hut.
Are you all sticking together the entire time?
Yeah, at least I am sticking with Jackson.
I am definitely sticking with someone else who is able to defend themselves. Because as much as I like books, I'm not good at swinging them at people.
Yet.
Yes, yet.
I'm sticking with Flo.
All right. All right.
Be careful, she's
You-
dangerous.
That's fine. Cuts
You
both
all
ways, right?
attempt to search the island, but those two people don't appear. Finally, we'll say after 2 hours of kind of walking around, you all are forced to either abandon the meeting or to go to the hut.
We will go to the hut.
And this time, Jackson doesn't lead you along a side path until you arrive. He knocks on the door, and an older woman, maybe it looks to be like in her 60s, maybe 70s, kind of dark brown skin, long hair tied behind her head. Looks up at you all. At first, she looks at you all a bit confused until she sees Jackson, and then she gives him a smile. Hello. And she is speaking in Spanish. I don't know enough Spanish to have a conversation in Spanish. So only Ricardo, Jasper, and Jackson understand. But she does open the door and gestures for you all to come in. Hello. I assume that you all have come to hear stories. Like Mr. Elias here, is that correct? Well, please take a seat. I will tell you what I can. Do you all need anything? Food, water? If I have it, I will. It's yours. Right, and Jackson goes, thanks for the offer. But I think my companions and I are not exactly in the mood for too much hospitality, though we do hope things are going well for you.
Everything's going great. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
Of course. You want to know about the story of the evil god, yes?
Yes.
Well, as it was told to me by my grandmother and her grandmother before her, there was once a god of great evil and vileness that fell from the stars above. It landed amongst the lake and crawled out, its hunger, knowing no bounds, devoured any and everything it touched, until Lego, the trickster hero from legend, I don't know if you're aware, it offered the evil god a deal, a knowledge of food of great power and nutrition. It climbed inside of an old, what is the word, an armadillo burrow. Eleko sealed it forevermore. Sealed it through spells worked in gold. He had his followers build a great temple over the location of the god, and forever since, our people have stayed as far away from it as possible. As far as I know, I can't say for sure if that's the very same temple you are in search of now, but there are similarities.
Does Jasper still have the original report that we saw about the conquistadors and the temple?
The letter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Florence is going to look to Jasper and say, show her what we found that you transcribed for us.
And I lift it out and I show her. This is a letter that we found, or that Georgie found.
As you show it to her, Jackson looks over and you see he kind of begins to translate portions of it for her. It's a similar story. I do know that the foreigners did travel here and they did go inside the temple. I don't know if they took things, though it would not be surprising. If this account is true, it may be if possible, it would be a good idea to return the gold to its place. The evil god's power was once bound through magic. I imagine if it's not there, it is dangerous. It may be where the CoC7e come from.
Florence looks to Ricardo and Jasper and says, "Are there many stories about the CoC7e?"
What would I have to roll to
No,
remember?
but I was gonna say you could ask her because she's an
Oh.
historian.
Oh, okay.
Because
thought you were-
I can't speak Spanish.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, translating.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, yes. In short, there are stories both here in Peru. As far as Bolivia, the details are different. But the few common ideas. It is a European person, tall. They usually wear some sort of hat or similar, carrying a long blade that they use to murder and to steal the body fats from people to satisfy the hunger of their dark god. Tell you also, the word, it means to carve with a knife. It is also said that people are sometimes drugged or infected with magic to keep them docile, slow, painful death. People did accuse the conquistadors of being such creatures. They fit the description very well, stealing what they could, but... And she pauses for a moment and then lowers her voice. The gentle that man that you came with, Mendoza, many believe he is of the CoC7e.
I'm not surprised.
Partially why I have come here instead of my true home. It's a bit safer amongst the water.
Do you know of a way to destroy them, or at least stories about that?
I believe violence is effective. Fire is something. I believe removing the head is, according to stories, it is good. They aren't able to touch the spells forged by the trickster. Don't know of anything besides that.
Fire. Fire is easy. I can come up with fire. A lot of things are flammable.
Does she know her grandson went missing?
Have noticed, yes. He was looking into the foreigners, the ones who are doing the old trip. One day he did not return. I tried to find him, but I could not.
Florence will say, "I'm very sorry."
If there's anything else I can provide for you all, if you need a place to sleep, you are welcome to stay the night.
Should we stay the night?
I believe the others will be looking for us. We should return.
Will you be safe?
I believe so. Thank you for asking. I have. We are good, hearty people. Georgie and Angus, you are looking out the windows of this small hut of a home, and you both could swear there are people watching you every so often. It's never the same person. And each time you notice them, they seem to disappear amongst the people. But what you find most concerning, Gus, with the extreme success, is that none of the people you see are European. They do not have the eyes. They are not white, for lack of a better description.
Hey, gang. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keeping a lookout, and people keep popping in to look at us, and then they vanish when I notice them, and none of them. Oh, this sounds so bad, but none of them have this complexion. Um, I'm not getting the best vibes about this. We might not be safe.
We should not linger then. We should return.
No, we need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not many people with your complexion in this region. Yes, Angus.
I concur.
Who else would be looking at the strangers? Traversing through town.
Your point is well taken. It's just it's that in tandem with I see someone, they notice that I see them, they go, then somebody else new pops in. It's irregular is all. And I'm not feeling trusting, I guess, at this particular moment, Ricardo. I am feeling scared.
But why?
As you all are leaving, Jackson does check in. Are you sure we should not stay longer? It is a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Indeed, we should make our way back.
We need to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
All right. Well, I will lead the way.
Jackson.
Action, Jackson.
Jackson leads you through the winding paths back towards the boat. And then you all are paddling back. If there's any conversations you all wish to have while you are on the water, you may do so.
Anyone want to give me the rundown on that conversation? I couldn't really follow it that well. My Spanish is not good.
Yes.
Is Ricardo going to summarize the conversation?
Okay.
And we have the summary, but if the keeper could nicely summarize for us in your own easier to understand words about what happened, that would be quite lovely.
Sure. So you all, as you all are leaving together, you all and Jackson do go over what you have been told. You were told a story from a Peruvian myth of a dark god that fell from the stars, that was tricked into an armadillo burrow at the promise of nutritious food. a burrow that was eventually at a temple built on top. The temple infused with spells through gold. It was mentioned by Nera that this gold, if it is missing, as per Casperel's account, it may be best to return that gold to the temple to restart the magical protection, and that lack may be where the CoC7e are coming from. You all noticed that there were some people that were not the standard European appearance that had been watching you, but they did not do anything. And you are aware that that there are no overt weaknesses of the CoC7e. Flames does seem to be effective, as well as overwhelming violence.
And lopping off their heads.
Yes. Head removal is very lethal to, I think, everything.
Everything.
So,
yeah.
But it is also true. It is technically also true for the CoC7e. You may do that.
Yes.
So.
Well, I will say that's honestly been my plan all along for the gold piece. But now we have a better idea of where it goes. It's under the temple.
I guess we're gonna have to look for it. I want to see where this will take us.
Or graves, probably, but
Well, if it's
my concern is that there's so many legends of these creatures. How many are there?
that's a horrifying thought. At least
well,
12.
If we don't think it, we may be going into an ambush.
A trap. Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I don't think there's a lot of them. I don't think they can multiply. I think they've just lived a very long time and have gone through a lot of things. Which makes me reconsider how fatal the fire is.
I think they can multiply, because I when I was at the library, I found some literature talking about how if you get kissed by them, you become one of the hungry. So I think there's some way of multiplication.
The slugs.
Yeah.
We got that one out of the professor.
Parasite takes over their body. Interesting.
I wonder if it means that their eyes turn blue if they didn't have blue.
It turns them white?
My God.
It drains all the blood from them. Maybe? I don't know.
Perhaps.
That is a very interesting thing to think about. Just this giant bug.
And they're starving constantly for fat because they're lacking nutrients because they have a parasite feeding off of them.
Just don't tell the European ladies they don't need any more interesting tricks to whiten their skin.
Once we leave on the expedition, it is not too much to say that we will only be able to rely on each other. Is there anyone that wishes to back out?
I
No.
don't think it's too late to back out.
As risk averse as I am, I do not believe that but backing out would result in me staying alive. So no. And I like staying alive.
Also, it's 800 miles back in one of those vehicles. I'm here. I'm staying.
Oh, all right. Well.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
I must embrace my destiny, or whatever my father would want me to say. I'm sticking around.
We face what comes together. With that, you all return to the mainland, you all will have a few hours to make any purchases that you would like to do, any last minute things that will help you. But if there is nothing, you find that Larkin and De Mendoza has gained a large group of pack animals as well as outfitted them with all of the equipment that they would need. There are tents and things like that, but you gather is going to be they packed minimally, so it is going to be a rough couple of days as you all make your way from Puno. And you all set out together. So, as you leave, my question for you: are the five of you sticking together, or are you splitting up in any way?
Well, Ricardo Ricardo is not leaving the side of anyone that knows how to use a gun, so he doesn't want to get got out by the vampires, like because right now we're like, oh shit, we got Central American vampires trying to eat our faces.
Yeah, no, I think sticking together would be a good idea.
All right. So, you all will travel through the day. At this point, you all are on foot. And those of you who did not pack responsibly are going to have a very unpleasant time. But the first day of travel begins to conclude, and you all stop. Augustus sets up the beasts of burden in kind of a circular pattern. He does set up his tent as well as De Mendoza's next to his, and you all are free to set up your tents however you like. Do you all go to sleep together, or does anyone keep watch? How are you all handling this?
I'd like to talk about
Yep.
keeping watch.
I was about to say, I feel like with our current state of paranoia, we would probably be having people not all sleeping at the same time.
Yeah.
Georgie's fine with keeping watch for a little bit.
Right. So
We can do like a 2-hour rotation or an hour rotation.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like Georgie wants to stay up and do the first watch by herself.
She's used to having to keep an eye on college students.
All right. As the night begins, the temperature falls to a very cold, bone-biting cold. Georgie, can I have a spot hidden roll, please?
Sure. Hot damn, a success.
Right. You stay up. The night falls uncomfortably on your shoulders, and you become aware of sounds that you wouldn't be used to. Sounds that don't exist in the city. The rustling of animals, the cries of birds in the distance. You settle in for a few hours. Let's see, if there's 5 of you. Let's say each of you would need to do 3 hours apiece, give or take, to break it up for you. Well, 2 hours. Your watch goes by uneventfully. Who do you wake up next?
I can go next, and I've basically walk up to Georgie and I tap her shoulder. Ooh. And I go, hey, it's my turn. Go on and get some rest.
It's been quiet. There's just animal noises. But the fire's still warm, so I'll go get some sleep.
No problem. All right, get some sleep.
Jasper, are you staying near the camp, or do you just stay put, or do you travel around, maybe look for things?
I position myself actually where I can see both Larkin and De Mendoza's tent. Like, okay. I pay attention to that.
Right.
I feel like they're the ones I'm worried about, and I want to make sure I don't miss anybody leaving those tents.
Okay. Can I have you make me a listen roll, please?
Listen?
Listen.
Where's my listen? I'm gonna use some of my luck points for that to make it a success.
Listen for the world around you, and you can swear there are noises. You aren't sure if there's people watching. You aren't sure if it's anything more than nature around you. And then you hear something. It's barely audible. And as you kind of whip around, you see a large serpent slowly uncoiling itself from a tree about 10 feet away from where the others are sleeping in their tents.
I'm going to. How big is it?
Oh, we'll say it looks to be about 10, somewhere between 10 and 15 feet long.
I'm going to shoot it.
All right, make me a firearms roll. Are you using a handgun or a rifle?
I think it's a. Let me pull it up. It's a revolver, a handgun.
All right, roll firearms, handgun.
Did I do that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is a failure. Do you have any luck to spend? Because you've been spending luck. Like it's going out of style, y'all.
I mean, it seems like a lot, and I don't have that much left.
It is a lot.
How much is it? How much?
You'd have to spend 19 points to make that a success.
20 points of luck left.
It is risky.
All right, let's just do it. Let's just make it a success.
Could Jasper push the roll, Keeper?
You could push the roll. You would re-roll, but something bad may happen if you fail.
All right, let's push it.
Push it to the limit.
Wow.
Yeah. What? Oh no! What have I done, Jasper? I'm so sorry. I'm the kiss of death.
Well, that
Jasper, I'll buy you
Wow,
dinner next week.
That was a malfunction and a fumble, so
Yep.
that's beautiful, personally. So let me
I'm
actually
happy.
check.
Does Jasper die?
So what happens first is when you pull the trigger, you don't notice that moisture has gotten into the barrels of your gun. So when you fire it, it jams and the gun is damaged. You're not going to be able to use it again until you take the time to clean it out.
Okay.
However, as you fire the gun, the serpent moves in a way you don't expect, and you miss it, and you hit one of the pack animals, the one responsible for the majority of the food that you guys have brought with you. And as you shoot it, the camp wakes up. The rest of you hear a gunshot. Augustus and Mendoza come out of their tents looking confused. I would say the four of you may react however you see.
There was a big snake. I apologize, but there was a big snake. And I didn't want to harm anyone. Georgie,
What's going on? What happened? Was that a gunshot?
Georgie like trying to pull her robe around her because she was half into getting changed to go to bed.
Jasper, what have you done?
It was a big snake. I'm so sorry.
He looks over at the pack animal. It doesn't look like a big snake.
No, there was a big snake, and I shot at it, and I missed and hit the poor pack animal. I'm so sorry. And I look at Larkin. I will pay for whatever the cost. I am so sorry.
Ricardo puts his hand on Jasper's shoulder. Are you sure it was a snake? It's okay if you were drifting off to sleep and had a nightmare.
No, Ricardo, it was a big snake.
Well,
I guess it's plausible.
We will have to give up on some of our items to continue.
I apologize
It's
again.
like a chunk of food, so it's going to be a rough couple of days, and then
Yeah.
back as
Again, I
well.
apologize. I just wanted to make sure that nobody was eaten by the snake. You know.
All right. Well, everyone should try to get some rest. I will have to reorganize things in the morning. Let's be careful about our fire from now on. If you do come across dangerous beasts, if you don't think you can handle it, I'd recommend and suggest a bladed weapon just to be safe, or to wake someone else up to help you, or everyone else up to help you.
Thank you.
Does everyone else go back to sleep?
I continue my watch.
Jasper,
will.
The rest.
Oh, go ahead.
Jasper, the rest of your watch is peaceful. Who do you wake up next?
Florence will do it. She hasn't been able to go back to sleep since the gunshot.
Cool. And I do notice Florence come on.
She has her rifle with her.
Well, I hope your turn you won't have to use the rifle.
Let's hope.
Yeah. But I will trust your judgment should you need to use it.
Look, it's dark out here. It isn't hard to miss. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, may you have a peaceful watch.
Get some rest. Clean your weapon in the morning.
I will. I don't listen to Flo. I do take the time to clean my weapon and then
Okay.
Don't tell me what to do.
It takes you, we'll say, it takes you probably another hour to properly go to clean it out and do the repairs you can. But you can, when you finish, you can use it again. Florence, can I have you make me a listen roll, please?
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. I can't spend a luck for that. I fail.
Can I have the rest of you make me a listen roll?
the rest of us?
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you.
Dang.
I succeed.
You know what? I may actually finally spend luck to make that roll a success.
Damn it! Oh well, whatever. I'm tired. Damn it, I'm
I
tired.
will say, Georgie, before you spend the luck, a regular success will not make a difference.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Okay. All right. You settle in to your watch, and it is peaceful. A bit uncomfortable, especially now that you've heard from Jasper that there is animals here.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see anything. The silence is a bit uncomfortable. It's very different from being in the city. But your watch passes without issue.
Okay.
Wake up.
She'll head in and pick whichever guy's closest. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Gus.
Thanks,
This is
Florence.
going to be. I'm gonna say this is going to be the last watch. So, roll me a listen roll. Let's see how things goes for our good friend Angus.
How about spot hidden?
No. You're not very alert in this investigator group. You settle in for your watch, keeping an eye on the trees above you, wondering what's in the darkness. Is there anything you want to do while you are awake, while you're alone?
Yeah, I want to get up and I want to walk maybe 10 feet around where we're situated. Not straying too far. Maybe it's just nerves. Maybe I'm just trying to keep myself awake. Maybe I'm just looking for an opportunity to prove my merit. But I'll pace around the general area about 10 feet each direction of the square.
Make me a spot hidden roll.
What could possibly go wrong? That roll was an example of that.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay. Ree would never hurt me.
You wander around, your eyes mostly scanning the trees. You don't see anything. Continue like this until you see the beginnings of a sunrise in the distance.
Keeper, is it too late for me to push the roll? If I waited too long, that's okay.
Sure, you can push the roll.
It's like you can always push it, but make sure to
Yeah,
push it
but
real good.
I didn't know if I just waited too long. I wasn't trying to sandbag you.
You begin another circuit around the camp, and with the additional light from the sun, you see something you hadn't noticed before. Lying on the ground in the grass, is one of the remaining pack animals. Its stomach has been ripped open, and you can see its body is desiccated, as if its body fat had been removed by something.
I'm going to scream. I'm going to just unleash a howl of abject terror and horror.
Somebody scream!
Something like
Alright,
I think the words I would use would be holy fucking shit. Something eviscerated the pack animal and ate all of its fat. That's fucking horrifying and should not fucking happen. Everybody wake up and look at this.
You wake up and look at it.
Oh yeah,
I'm super loud, by the way.
with arms. Mm-hmm.
You see the scene, the clear attack by what you've learned, what you've understood to be a CoC7e before you. Another large portion of your equipment lost. Is there anything you all do?
I want to see if the others got up too.
You do see see the third bellow from Gus, De Mendoza and Larkin do make their way over. Larkin looks visibly distressed. De Mendoza looks more irritated at Mr. Irons.
Do I notice that? Is that just obvious?
I would say so. Yes, he looks very irritated at you.
You know what? I'm irritated with him. And the fuck is your problem?
We are in the forest and you are screaming.
You know what? I'm gonna get up in his face. Do you think I'm not screaming for a pretty good fucking reason? Does that look normal to you? What part of that in your thick fucking brick of a skull looks normal? You think that's not worth screaming about? That was a rhetorical question, you fucking idiot. Because of course it was.
I'm gonna make a roll.
Jasper is smirking.
Florence is readying her weapon.
As you speak, see that Mendoza's begins to almost enlarge in. And you see Larkin's, for a moment, those of you not focused on De Mendoza, see Larkin's eyes widen. Can I have Irons, Augustus here, make me either a fighting brawl roll or a dodge roll, as you are going to be attacked.
Let me see here.
Oh, please dodge. Florence will fire at him.
So, hold on. So my dodge is a 22. Let's take a look at that fighting brawl. My brawl is actually higher.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the higher roll. Oh dear.
Ooh.
Okay. So, you see that as you get closer, Mendoza goes to swing, and Larkin goes, "Stop, calm down." And as he says that, you see Mendoza's it's almost as if his body stops before his mind tells it to. And he narrowly misses, slamming a fist into Angus's chest. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to look at Larkin and I'm going to go, now how are you able to do that?
Florence is literally training her weapon, alternating between the two of them.
Everyone, calm down. We have had a bit of a tough journey, but this is normal for expeditions.
And then she points her weapon at the fucking pack animal that's been eviscerated and says, that's not normal.
We are in a forest. Animals are going to hunt.
And take the body fat?
There are strange creatures in the forest of Peru. I do not know what to tell you.
More importantly, why was no one guarding the pack animals at night if we thought this may happen?
It was you all that were taking the watch. Remember?
Oh no. We're not doing this rhetorical sophistry bullshit. You just said, hey, this is normal that this weird body fat monster exists.
No,
and so
it
you
is
think that
normal that bad things occur on expeditions. No plan is perfect. You should be prepared for the uncomfortable
How are we preparing
realities.
for that?
We will have to sacrifice some of our goods to continue.
That's
But
real
if we had
convenient.
not lost one of the other pack animals, it would not be as bad. Perhaps
That's
if
just
you all weren't so
misdirect.
obsessed with your weapons, we would be in a slightly better position.
All you did was dance around the very obvious thing that Ricardo put before all of us. It didn't mitigate anything. And you know that, and I know that, and everyone listening knows that, so there's no point on dwelling on it. But I don't know what crazy power you... Go ahead, Jasper. You're smarter than me.
No, I mean, all of that aside, obviously, you have some sort of control over Mr. De Mendoza here. And I'm interested in that more than anything else.
I am not entirely sure what you mean.
You're a shit liar.
Your good friend, my similarly named friend here, was about to put a hole through the good archaeologist's chest, and you were able to stop him.
Mendoza is a good friend. Has a bit more self-control than it appears that some of us have here. I would request that everyone takes a moment to calm down and we can continue.
Mr. Larkin, I'm calm. I see how calm you are. I would be too if I had somebody as strong as Mr. De Mendoza here at my beck and call. Where I am not the only one obsessed with weapons.
You know
I
what?
have you all make me either a spot hidden roll or a psychology roll.
All of us or just these?
All of you.
Okay.
Failed mine.
Success, so psychology.
I failed.
My spot.
Georgie did not roll very well.
Georgie
Angus-
failed that. Failed.
Angus and Ricardo, you notice that as Larkin has been talking, his body language has changed. If you didn't know better, it almost looks like he is having some sort of internal struggle that is manifesting physically. At some moments he looks more frail, than at others he looks almost statuesque, unnaturally calm.
Okay, I'm going to play off of that. You're right. I should have tolerated the disrespect that Mr. Whatever was giving me. I should have ate that because he woke up. He was probably cranky. So, Mr. De Mendoza, I'm so terribly sorry. I extend my hand for him to shake it.
He does. Very stiffly.
I'm going to go over to Mr. Larkin. My most sincerest apologies.
Alright, while you all take a moment to relax while I try to salvage what we have. And both he and Mendoza step away, and you see they begin to go through the stuff that was on both of the two pack animals and are attempting to decide what they can afford to give up or to keep. What do the five of you decide to do?
Gang, could we have a word back at the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Florence
And
is going to
keeping
position
an
herself
eye
to where
on-
she has her rifle and she's watching those two while we're talking.
Yeah, I have my hand on my 45.
It wasn't obvious they're clearly hiding something. Not that that needed to be said, but it's become even more obvious than it was before.
They are both creatures.
Hey,
Of the night.
Jasper.
There's something.
I just wanted you to know, Jasper, I felt very safe with you keeping watch, and I appreciate you. Same thing for all of you. I probably lost my shit there a little bit worse than I should. Sometimes I get a little uncorked, and I know I'm doing something I shouldn't do, but I don't care. And it was dumb, but in that moment, I really didn't give a fuck if he put a hole through my chest. He was a piece of shit, and he needed to know that he was a piece of shit. Stupid, I know.
It's just very convenient that we are losing gear now that we can't travel by vehicle.
Yeah.
It's okay. I am well versed in the natural world. I'm sure I can find us some additional things in our bountiful garden that we happen to be traveling through.
It's a setup.
Totally.
It's a fucking setup.
Totally.
I'm about to go put
We are to be their sacrificial lambs.
They're going to come back with a bunch of treasures and a heroic story, presuming they don't have any other foul
I
machinations.
don't even think they want the fucking treasures. I think we're meant to be a feast.
Probably. There's something there that they want. They want to further uncork that protection spell, ritual. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
How about I just go over there and put 6 in Larkin's fucking face right now?
I don't think that would work.
I don't think so either.
I'd feel better. It wouldn't be
You'd
smart.
be dead.
As you are talking, you do notice that Jackson Elias is on the other side of this clearing. You see he does have his his revolver in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call out to him, Jackson.
Sorry, Mr. Jackson.
He he jogs up over to you. Are you all right?
Yeah. See anything weird?
I've did notice the odd changes in Larkin's demeanor. And Mendoza seems to be, well, he certainly fits the description of a CoC7e, even his
So does
penchant
Larkin.
for violence.
Yeah. So it was this weird fluctuation of frailty and strength between Larkin back there. And it's like he was, I theorize, that fluctuation in strength was him trying to rein in Mendoza. Or Mendoza. I've heard his name both ways. I don't know what to do. It's definitely a us versus them thing. I mean, that's been apparent, but it's official right now.
So
Jasper, what should we do?
We're in agreement that D. Mendoza is indeed a demon?
Yes.
Yes. What I think we should do, I'm a pretty reckless person. I kind of want to see what'll happen. I'm not the best person to ask when it comes to this kind of decisions about preserving life and ours specifically. That doesn't mean I won't fight if things have to go down. But I'm curious.
Let's poke it with a stick.
Ricardo, what saith you?
If they were to die before showing us this temple, perhaps they would just come back or something like them. Perhaps we would get stuck here in the jungle. If we get to the temple, there might be a way to stop them more permanently.
We might be able to return that gold thing after all and trap them again.
Georgie,
Ricardo
Florence?
kind of leans in, staring at Jasper. What gold thing? Why, whatever are you speaking of, Jasper?
Trinkets, rituals.
Get some souvenirs in town.
Florence?
We have to get to the temple. The simple fact is they are sabotaging every step of the way.
Does our other person here us like know the way to the temple, or is it just these two that we think are doing the sabotaging?
It's just supposedly Larkin. But I know Florence is like, but I know D. Mendoza knows the way too. We have the letter that proves it.
Well, we have the suspected saboteurs who also hold the keys to reaching our
Exactly.
goal.
So we've got to keep trekking it.
I just had a horrible thought. So D. Mendoza, we think, has been around since at least the 1500s, correct? More or less.
What the fuck is Larkin?
Yeah, well, there's that. So what if the older they get, the worse they get? Maybe D. Mendoza was always a madman, so that his age made it manifest to be that much more aggressive and strong. And maybe Larkin was brilliant, and his age has made him that much more devious and insidious. I'm just pulling shit out of my fucking head.
Anything's possible. All I know is we need them to get us to the temple.
I agree. Georgie?
At least one of them.
I like the one of them. Because it's easier to make it go from one of them to none of them if there's only one of them.
But I worry if we attack one, we attack both.
Perhaps we should approach them in a utilitarian fashion.
Oh, absolutely.
And state something along the lines of, given the current set of circumstances, we need to make haste. How much further? Try to find out how much further we are, and see if it's possible to get there without any further stops.
You can go ask him.
Okay. I can do that.
I'll go with you. I enjoy seeing the control that Larkin has over D. Mendoza, and I enjoy fucking with him.
Before we head on out with that, Georgie, do you have anything you'd like to add? Old King George, my monarch.
Keeper, Georgie's been counting how many pack animals are left. How many pack animals are left now that 2 are dead?
You are down. We'll say you're down to 2 left.
And how many
There are 4
extra
in total.
people on the expedition besides us 5 plus our 2 friends?
At this stage, there are 8 of you in total. The 5 of you, Jackson, Mendoza, and Larkin.
Are there any other people, like miscellaneous helpers or anything like that, or is it just us?
Well, there is Flo's Lady Maid as well.
So they didn't hire any actual excavation crew?
The other people stopped in Puno. It is from this point. Once you left Puno, it was only not eight of you, 5. 9
oh wow,
of you.
that's really sus. I'm just saying, that's so sus.
Well, just depending on how much farther it is to the temple, I can't help but noticing that we only have 2 pack animals left, and we have 2 people who might get hungry. So, assuming 1 a night, we have at least 2 days estimatedly, before we're all on the dinner menu. So if Ricardo and Jasper can get out how long it is, if we have a map, maybe we could calculate an area of how far it could be. If we can get at least a rough ballpark, maybe we could, before we get there.
I do have a map of the area, and I've done some mostly guesswork based on the direction we've been going in, but I've only been able to narrow it down to around 10 or so miles. So if we were to go our own separate ways, we'd be looking over a rather large area.
I'd say give it another day, and maybe can you narrow it down if it's another day?
It's possible.
5 miles is still big, but it'd at least be a little shorter.
Have you let me see the paper that from Gasper Figueroa?
Oh,
Might be some landmarks mentioned that could make the process a little easier.
Jasper has that.
I show it.
I'll do what I can. But if they were to discover that we plan on leaving without them, they may not be cordial. So perhaps we keep this to ourselves for now.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
If at all, we just tell them perhaps we just decide to turn around if they ask or catch us leaving.
Right, and just so you're all aware, as if it does come to it, I'll do what I can. Someone has to stand up for what's right.
Although I think if we get the option, taking out D. Mendoza is probably the better option out of the two.
Agreed.
All right. As you all finish up your plan, you see Mendoza and Larkin have moved, divided the material the best they could. So you do see a large amount of both equipment and as well as food will be left behind. As you all set out in search of the ruins of this pyramid, I think this is where we will end our story for this evening.
Oh.
I think we've had quite the interesting journey. The road to Puno has been fun, and then the road to the ruins has been just as exciting. So I thank you all for being here and helping me tell this wonderful story. I will go ahead and let these wonderful people tell you where you can find them on the internet here. Now we'll start with Florence today.
All right, everybody. I am Mama McStabber. You can find me just about anywhere on the internet under Mama McStabber, but you can also find me streaming multiple nights a week at McStabber Studios, and that is twitch.tv/McStabber Studios.
All right, next up, Demon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You can find me on Start Playing if you're looking for a game under DM Inkblood Demon. You can find me just getting walloped more and more by Mythos monsters on the McStabber Studio Discord. It never gets better for me. It only gets more of the same. By more of the same, I mean worse. And you can also find me here being very sad and angry at Ree and his villains. Really more so his villains than Ree. We love Ree.
Look it up, Ari.
Hi, Mari. You can find me on Twitter at Small Shadow Snack. It's not really used very often. I am over on Blue Sky at Aurelia Crane. Again, social media is not really my thing, so you can mostly catch me here, causing problems for Ree, because that is what I live to do.
All right, next up, Glyza.
Hey, my name is Glyza. You can find me everywhere by just looking for Classical Glyza. That's Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. If you have found an @Classical Glyza, guess what? You found me. So.
All right, so Monolith, you're up next.
At Sir Monolith, that's what I go by on the socials, and since you probably won't find me there, you can just come look at Ree's channel and you'll find me most of the time here doing something to cause some kind of trouble. Today was fairly timid, though.
All right, and with that, our story has come to its end for this evening. Join us next week as we continue as our investigators attempt to reach these ruins, discover just what's going on. I believe next Saturday, if you want to watch World of Darkness stuff, I'd go and keep an eye on the McStabber Studios page. I might be there. You know?
Also, Friday is when our multi-splat game starts. So, yeah.
Another wonderful opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be so much carnage. So many hurt feelings and sadness.
All the different White Wolf factions get along beautifully.
Well, it's not that they're working together. We're doing a multi-splat project where next week kicks it off. It has 5 storytellers running 5 different splats, all tied to the same plot, but they're individual splats playing. So
Very nice.
yeah, it's very cool.
Definitely
sure there will be a lot
encourage
of
you to go and
splatting.
watch. But with that, our time together has ended. So I do hope you will join us again next week.
Good night, y'all.
Bye, y'all.